friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to 100 Days of Pockets. This is a collaboration that Cindy A. Lewis and I are hosting, and Cindy, she's the creator of this collaboration, and she's got a booklet of 100 Days of Pockets that you can download. So check out my description box and you will find it linked there, and so then you can have all the instructions and everything in one place. All right, let's get to today's fun pocket, which is a matchbook pocket. And I love making little matchbook notebooks, so I think I'm gonna have fun seeing what the difference is between the notebook and the pocket. So let's get into it. The first thing you're gonna need is a decorative piece of paper. You could go plain if you want, so you can go cardstock, whatever you want. I have a nice, it's scrapbook paper, so it's flexible, but it's also thick at the same time, which is nice. You're gonna wanna cut that to 2.5 to 3 inches wide. I did 3 inches. And then you're gonna wanna cut it from, whoops. You're gonna wanna cut it from 6 inches to 8 inches long. I chose to go 8 inches. So because I chose a wider 3 inches, I figured the length being taller than 6 would be better. But we're gonna see. I haven't made one of these before in this style. I haven't made the pocket before. So let's get into this. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is fold up from the bottom to make a matchbook flap, and you're gonna fold at 1 inch. And I'm just using my board. I can see I have my paper here, and I know that I need to fold it there. And actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and score that. I'm gonna put if you don't have a scoreboard, that's okay. You can do something like this. You can hold your ruler down and then just go across with a bone folder or anything. You don't want to press so hard that you cut through, but you want to press hard enough to score it. And then it makes cutting much easier and it makes it nice and straight. All right, we got step 2 done. All right, now we're gonna take this part and we're gonna overlap this by about 1/2 inch. So actually, if I line this up on my board, I can see that 1/2 inch are these dots here. So I'll bring this in and right to that point, and then I'll press this down. And you can press with a bone folder or a spatula or a pair of scissors. You guys have frequently seen me do this, but if you're new here, you know, I wanted to let you know there's a whole lot of, you can use your fingernail if you need to, you know, a lot of ways to crease your paper. Now, before we move forward, I kind of like to have my matchbooks have a little rounded corner, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, but you don't have to do that. That's just a personal preference. I just kind of like the way it looks. So I've got my rounded corners on, and now you're going to want to either staple or glue this so it stays shut, so that this part is tucked into this part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go right along this bottom line here, and I'm going to go ahead and wait. This has to tuck under that, so hold on. I started to glue the wrong flap. That's quite all right. I can clean that glue up, and I'm going to do that right now. There we go. Good as new. I got a tiny bit right there. I'm going to get that cleaned up. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this here, and then close it here. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and do a little decorating. I have this frame. This was just given to me in Happy Mail by my friend Carrie, the paper monkey. But let's go ahead and get a piece of paper underneath that can be written on. Let me see. I might have some scraps on my desk. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this little piece of paper behind this frame. So I'm putting a little glue on there. And I already cut this to size, so I'm going to get that on there now. And now I'm going to put glue over the whole thing here. Okay. So we're going to put this right here. I think I'm going to move it down just a hair. There we go. Because I want to go ahead and put this here too. And I think you can still get in there and write on it. Yeah, I like that. Oops. So I'm gonna let me try this again. Okay, so I can use some glue on here, but also I think on this edge I'll use some double stick tape, but like the fat kind, like the foam tape. Let me grab some. If I use the foam tape, it should, make sure this is straight. Felt like it was a little crooked there. If I use this foam tape, it should give it some support on the edge that is hanging off of the card. Okay, so it looks like, I could use a little strip here. Let me cut these in half so that way I have some flexibility with them. There we go. Let's try that out. Okay, so I know we need a small one under here. Let's just put it right on the card. That might be good. That covers nicely. And then we'll do another strip. We'll do this bigger strip right here. Let's check that and make sure that's in, well placed. Okay. I think that's going to work, and then I'll have these extras for whatever else. I'll put them up here on my camera legs. Find something to use them for. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is get some glue on here for the other areas that need some adhesive. And I'm going to take this tape off of here. Okay, and now it's time to glue this on. Looking cute. Okay. I feel like maybe we should put something over here on the side, right, to decorate that up a little bit. How about some little pearls? How does that sound? Let's do 5. 1, 2, do one in the center. 3, 4, 5, like that. Oh, that one's not spaced properly. Whoops. I wonder if I can scoot that. I wonder if I can scoot this glue over a little bit. Let's see. I might be able to. If I press down hard enough and sort of scooch it over. All right, we're going to try that. All right, I got those on. There's definitely some glue marks around them, so they look bigger than they actually are because you're seeing a lot of the glue, but that's okay. Those will dry clear and that won't be any problem. And then check out this cute little tag that Carrie gave me. It kind of came with this little matching set. That can slide right into the pocket. There we go. That is a Matchbook Pocket. So super cute, and this can be written on. You can put the date in here or a name or whatever you wanted to. So I hope you like it, you guys. I think it's super fun pocket to make, and I'll definitely make more of those because it was interesting, and it would even be fun to use paper that maybe wasn't as busy so that you could see the line of the matchbook. That might be good. There's a lot of things you could do with this that would be a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope you like it, my friends. Check out Cindy's video today. Tomorrow is going to be a waterfall pocket. Now guys, wish me luck with that one. All right, my friends. Thanks for watching. See you soon.